everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Texans going up against the Colts. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, from the heartland of America, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis. Today we jump right into this new season with an AFC South matchup between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Time running out here on the play clock.
Here we go.
Back to throw here. He's got his man on the crossing route. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
They'll put Fuller in motion right. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a play fake here on first down. This will be caught at about the 3. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. First and goal at the 3-yard line now. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Now, you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually completed but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, you have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see a defense that you can make a case that there's 11 in the box. There's just no room. So I'm with you. You've got to find a way to push things downfield a little bit. Any type of space is better than what we just saw there. And that end result, not one that's satisfactory to them.
Now, they've gotten it to the 4 on this opening drive, but now they face a third and goal. And the play clock's running down. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets a tone for the offense.
And to give this time to the tailback. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing on third down, Newton. He's going to look deep down the field and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Fielded just inside the 20. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Let's go.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. No. Check, Patriot. Gun.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The previous play was a nice run, so they came back with the draw. I think they were trying to fool the defense into thinking they would throw the ball and wanted to run it again. Unsuccessful, but this team is definitely showing they want to keep it on the ground. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab.
Watch it now, Barney. Back there.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. In motion goes the tight end. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
He'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there from 4 yards out. And the Texans will add on to their lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they like to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And boy, the payoff was good.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move them out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. From the gun on third down, Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. It's caught by Mike Evans. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that'll be good for an Indianapolis first. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back, because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on third and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
Newton on first down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a short return to the 6-yard line. And not great starting field position here for the offense. And he'll give it here to his running back. And some room to work. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 42 yards on the ground. The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the first.
And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that, and when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity during the game. I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They're going to look to throw. He finds his target, Fuller. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's going to launch this thing. Wait. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So 2nd and 10 here. One receiver to the left is Evans. On 2nd and 10, Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
He's got Evans. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And Jones has it over the middle. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection. Ryan to Jones there. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. So the D-line's going to spread out. Throwing on 3rd down. Newton. Caught on the right side by Jones. And is that Jones, the one slow to get up? Yes. Julio still down right now. Oh, hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. One receiver to the left is Evans. To throw is Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And that is incomplete.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw, finding time. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long, thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Let's take it inside his own 40. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, it's Newton. And he's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. 3rd and long. It's Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And the Texans take possession.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Set. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So a fumble on 2nd down. They're able to maintain possession. Brings up 3rd. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
I don't know how you felt about that one, but almost felt like retaliation, didn't it? Took the sack, jumped right back up, and took a big shot downfield that fell incomplete.
Yeah, 2nd down sack. Tried for the big one on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. This is taken at about the 14. Still going. He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And a great spot to start this drive from here. One receiver to the left is Evans. Throwing is Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Trying to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Lucky 56. Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going left side here, and it's complete. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Houston. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, A lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Now it's Newton. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
20.
From the gun on third down, Newton. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Jadeveon Clowney in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. The Colts send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Play clock winding down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Fresh set of downs here.
Watch it now, Barney. Here we go now.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to lead this for his running back. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it second down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Back to throw here. And he slings one that's incomplete. So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
And they'll send the tight end in motion.
No. Check. Patriot.
On play action, they'll throw. He's got time. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver from 21 yards away. And the Texans will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. One receiver to the left is Evans. On 1st and 10, Newton. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they give this time to the tailback. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
I'm ready now for 2nd and 9. And he'll give it here to his running back. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Let's go!
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Here's Newton. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to let it fly. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And they're going to speed things up here. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. Now a desperation throw deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Their big tight end from 19 yards away. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season, we get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Texans, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.